Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
Well, when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns, I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. It obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
The numbers for Evans a week ago: 5 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy. And that's exactly where he is now, number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Jameis to throw it. He's got Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Chances are good. He's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for only a couple and brings up 3rd down. Let's have a look at the defensive starters for New Orleans. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL. You know they have their sights set on being number 1, looking for a big game today.
And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first. Now a first down carry by Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there.
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. We'll give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hearing this, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And as a defender, if you go with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that. But have 2 in the first quarter, That's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick: make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, English. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Alex Anzalone. In from his linebacker's spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they're looking
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
To throw from his end zone. English. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play for the Saints on 3rd down. And even 50 yards.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that,
with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Looking to throw. English. And a sideline pass. That's caught by Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Yeah, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. Running on 4th at Zach line. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. The fullback dive held up short. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created a push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Again, it's to Jones. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I think you're being overly critical there. He's analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay. Stay right where it is. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for a loss.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Winston now. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan. And you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help with pass protection. So you have to have a counter to that because you know they're probably going to bring pressure when they see an empty backfield. So you get rid of the ball quickly. Quick drop, ball's out of the quarterback's hands, keeps it from getting hit, and they get a completion.
12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone or...
Better against man.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Demario Davis. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
When we talk about players blitzing all the time, I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jackson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 11 more on that one and another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Again, it's Winston. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game. And he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They'll throw again. Winston. And his pass incomplete. Good coverage that time by Patrick Robinson. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
3rd and goal. Winston. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football. Back. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down. English. And that is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. English. And bulldoze it. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Ricardo Lewis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, it's Jones. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, let's head over to New Era Field to see what's happening with the Bills. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And that game, level, as they take on the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there at 22.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And he gets it down to the 32. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They go play action here on first down. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Jason Pierre-Paul. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And the pressure gets to him again. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Let's go! Blue Landing! Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch him now, Barney!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team.
Football 101, you've got to let the guy catch the ball.
You have to know the ball is there. You have to know it's arrived. Otherwise, you're going to get flagged every time.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. A give to Jones. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Demario Davis there on the stop. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Well, that'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ready. Blue ready.
This is Jones, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Play action now, Winston. And Blake has it over the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Buccaneer first, Winston to Brate.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Off the play fake, Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
His throw caught at about the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Winston. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Durham Smythe, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. Extra point right down the middle, and that will get them one closer.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. From the gun on 3rd down, English. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Operating from the gun, English. Finding some room at midfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hill. That one goes for 24 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any track.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Gerald McCoy breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Oh, no, he lost the football. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Jameis now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man covers, because man covers, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Jameis again. And break, the tight end's got it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The Bucs on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On play action, Winston under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. On 3rd and 2, English, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now running right through it. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun. Winston staying on his feet. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tyler Davison. He's the one who finally gets him down for what will wind up being a loss of 16 yards. 3rd and long for Winston. Looking deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crowley. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Looking to throw on second down. English. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, English. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Leopard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, and with that 13 yards, this ball game just about over. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for New Orleans, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta